what's Jay known for? We're gonna start with turquoise. Jay, we have the prettiest necklace to begin our second hour, and this is ceremonial turquoise. And for somebody who doesn't know about ceremonial, because we don't have it very often, this is actually Kingman, right?
Okay, and the story on this is, you know, the owner of the mine, you know, Marty, he called me one night. I swear it was like 2 o'clock in the morning or some crazy time. And of course, there's a 3-hour difference between the Kingman and Florida, where I was at, and he was so excited. There is okay, what I'm holding, that is the original natural rough on this. Can you see like the snake patterns in it? It's a really unique turquoise. But he was just like excited, like little kid at Christmas opening his, you know, and he got the toy train that he always dreamt of, excited, right? And I said, what is going on? He said, they ran into this pocket of ceremonial turquoise, and they had mined. They found it that morning, and they had mined. They had got the lights out there, and they were mining at night, which is a no-no. Okay, you don't do that. But they were doing it because they wanted to go ahead and get the pocket while they could get it. They got a little over a ton of this. They gave me first dibs to be able to buy it. We bought all the really good material that we could get at it. The story on this is this: the reason they call it ceremonial is, you know, Marty is 3rd generation. His son Josh is 4th generation turquoise miners. They've had the Kingman mine that long. At one time, just so you know, Tiffany had the Kingman mine. Tiffany actually.
I did not know that.
Tiffany owned the Kingman mine at one time, back in the early 1900s. But Marty's dad, Marty's grandfather's actually known. He's written up in Smithsonian he's the one that developed a lot of the modern day stabilization processes of you know, really well known and respected in the turquoise industry. But the ceremonial turquoise, Marty, you know, like Marty, when he grew up cutting cabochons in his grandfather's shop, and he said the Navajo shaman used to come in, and they would ask the grandfather for ceremonial turquoise, and they would take him over. He had one bin, and they would buy that turquoise. And the reason is they have snake ceremonies. That, you know, that's one of the things that they do, the Navajo shaman. And they would use they called it ceremonial turquoise because, you know, the turquoise is sacred to them, but it had snake patterns. If you saw the big rough, that's where you can really see it. And you can see it in the big cabochons on this. But this is kind of like, this is something that really is collectible. It's very rare. You know, Marty hadn't seen it since the 60s.
Wow.
Since the 60s. So you know, and they'll run into it. And at the level that they were at right now, that's all buried, and now they're back up on top of the mountain. Or the last time I was out there, they were back up on top of the mountain. So this is, you know, even if they ever get to it, it'll be a long time. It might be another 10, 20 years before they get down to that level again.
Wow, okay. So this is 18 inches in the length of the necklace. You have the 2 3/4 inch extender, that big, beautiful pendant in the front. I mean, you think about what you'd pay for the necklace alone, much less the necklace and the pendant. You're getting them both. This will be sold out in a second. It's not even gonna make the clock. Everybody's asking about my ring too. I'm just gonna tell you, under $100 for that big, it's actually under $60. Jay, don't tell me a secret. Okay, thank you so much.